I'm Chris Robertson, and 2 years ago, I started my own consulting business, which is Polymer Technology Services in Akron, Ohio. Before that, I spent over 20 years in the tire and rubber industry working for different companies. I was born and grew up in Maine and then spent the rest of my childhood in Pennsylvania. My parents didn't go to college, so I was the first one in the family to do that, and I got an undergraduate degree in engineering from Virginia Tech, chemical engineering. And that was already a big deal for me, given my, upbringing. But somehow I found my way into graduate school where I fell in love with research, and that just continued. And I ended up with a PhD that just led to, a career in R&D. My PhD is also from Virginia Tech. I think my first year of membership was in 2006. That was a couple of years after I joined Bridgestone Tire R&D in Akron area, and folks there were obviously involved in rubber division. I had known about the rubber division before that in my postdoc with Mike Rowland, because he was a longtime member and editor of Rubber Chemistry and Technology. But my first foot in the rubber division was at a conference and started my journey there. Look at my resume. I've worked at many different companies and had many different experiences in different places. The one constant throughout my career has been my involvement in the rubber division, kind of an anchor of sorts. It's always been there. I've always been involved in the rubber division since I started. And so it's been this continuous, I would say, flow throughout my career, even though I made some changes and did some different things at different companies along the way. I always had that constant. I think that was helpful because I always had a network of people. I always had, committees to get involved in and things to keep me a part of the community, even though I changed my location and title. I think the tip I would give would be to make a commitment to go to at least one conference a year, the International Elastomer Conference or the Spring Rubber Division Technical Meeting, one time per year at least, just to stay connected and let people get to know you and for you to get to know them. I think there's lots of opportunities there to learn and keep up with what's going on in rubber technology. Also, a chance to give back. And the longer you stay around, the more people see your face. You're apt to get asked to be on a committee and do some things that allow you to stretch yourself and grow. And I saw that in my own career. And those people that you meet along the way, they start off as colleagues, but I can call many of them friends these days. The one that jumps to mind is Mike Rowland at the Naval Research Lab. I only spent 2 years with him as a postdoc, but after that, we kept in touch and collaborated and continued to work together. I learned a lot about polymer science and physics from Mike, but also about life and how to, make my way through this journey of being a scientist. Um, and and he was always busy, but always available. And he was a really good mentor that way. Also a good role model in his service to the rubber division, especially through, him being editor of Rubber Chemistry and Technology. I saw that, and that was a good example. And it really hit me hard when Mike passed 2 years ago, and I realized how big of an impact he made in my life by, how it was tough to see him go. Um, there have been many other people. I had the great opportunity to work for 4 years with Will Mars and learn a ton about elastomer durability and got stretched in the sales and marketing side, which is a challenge for a technical nerd like me, but it was a good challenge. And I learned a lot from Ned Hardman and his technical team at Monolith about carbon black and reinforcement over the past several years that I've been working with them. And I've had other, great opportunities. If I look back on my career, maybe the best science I ever did was when I was at Bridgestone with Sharong Wong. And yeah, so I would definitely call him a big influence on my career. And in fact, I recently renewed that collaboration and we're able to work again through my consulting, which is a blessing. If you saw me walking down the street, you probably wouldn't say, "Hey, I bet that guy can cook Thai food, but in fact, I can. My wife is originally from Thailand, and her grandparents are all from China. So somewhere along the way, I learned how to cook Asian food, especially Thai food. So I would say that's something that I would call a hobby that maybe people don't know about me. I also enjoy fossil hunting. And Ohio is actually rich in sea life fossils from, over 300 million years ago. And it's kind of a mindful activity, gets me outdoors away from work. And it also reminds me just how short my time here is. When I'm searching for these fossils that have been here hundreds of millions of years, my short time here seems to be small by comparison. So it keeps me right-sized, which is a good thing. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about myself and my interaction with the rubber division. And I will definitely go to the International Elastomer Conference. My last bit of advice is when someone asks you to do something in the rubber division, say yes, like I said yes for this interview.